Hi everybody, it's Lene. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. We are going to be making an altered file folder with lots of pockets, and I think it makes a great gift to share with friends. This one is a file folder that is 11.6 by 9.5. There's 12 in this pack. I bought them at the Dollar Tree, 12 of them for $1.25, and you only need one. Okay, so that is a great bargain. The rest is just paper. The paper pack I am using to start with is Magnolia Blossoms 12 by 12 pattern cardstock. I'm listing every item down below the video so you know where to find it. You get 2 of each of these signatures that I'm showing you, and the colors are gorgeous. They go really well with that manila file folder. The blues and the creams and the greens are gorgeous. And as I said, you get 2 each of these. And then these cutout greetings are very much friends and kind of family, and that's why I feel like it makes a great gift. All right, so I'm going to move this aside. All right, so here's my file folder. I am starting out with one that has that little tab is on the left-hand side. So if you have one where the tab is on the left like this, that's great. If you have one where the tab is on the right, just turn it inside out like this and then flip it over. All right, so that's how you could start with it. So what I then did was I scored it right down the center, all right, so I could fold this in half. And then, jumping ahead a little bit, you guys, I just took a strip of paper that's about 3 inches wide, and I glued that to the inside of the file folder, and then I just took some little scissors and I just cut around that. So that way, this is all nice and patterned on the outside. This is going to be the outside of our folder. All right, so then you're going to do this. And then we have that nice little bit right there, because on the inside, I've covered the inside. This is going to be the inside of our file folder. And what I did for that was this beautiful ivory paper that has this border on either side. All right. So I'm going to cut this down. You can just cut it in half, actually. 6 inches wide. Cut it like that. Fold them together as one. The borders are right there. And then I want to measure this again, but I think it's 5.5 inches wide where we're, yep. So then you're going to cut this down. Remember, we're saving those borders. That's the whole point. We're just going to cut 1/2 inch off of that. All right. So then you're going to glue one on this side and one on this side. You glue them down and then trim around that. So it's all nice and covered. That's just really the easiest way I know how to do that. All right, so we have that, and then we've got this covered, and now we're going to take some glue and we're going to glue just down the inside of this open edge here. And I'm just using my Cosmic Shimmer glue. You could use your favorite adhesive. Got a little bit of glue there. You just don't want to use a lot of glue because you don't want it seeping out and going everywhere. And then we're going to do the same on the back. All right. I think I'm having glue issues. I am. You guys know the struggle of hot lights with glue. There we go. Okay. I just want to make sure that that is going to stay. All right, so that's the inside, and now we have a pocket right here. And then we have a pocket right here, okay, on the back, which is awesome. I love that. I'm just making sure our folds are going to be working good. Okay, so pockets on the front, pockets on the back, and we're also going to do some pockets on the inside. So now we're going to take my favorite color of ink. You guys know how I like to ink stuff. Just a nice Friar Brown ink. And we're just going to go around the edges, just like that. And this cover is going to get some paper on it as well, so we just don't need to be too careful about that. But I'm not going to cover the entire thing. That's important to note, otherwise I would wait. All right. All right, so now we're going to put some paper right on the front here, and I'm going to go back to these beautiful papers. They're so pretty. And I can't decide if I'm going to do this on the front. I think I might, so that I can do lots of different layers here. So I think that's the way we're going to go. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I think, yeah. So we are going to go ahead and cut this down. You know all how I like to cut down things. Instead of too much measuring, I just like to make sure I have that 1/8 inch border all the way around. And then I just mark it with my pencil. This side is going to be the same. Okay, so that's going to go right there, and we're going to glue that even with this side. So we're just going to do a little brown ink. We're not going to do it as heavy. Put our glue out, and then we're going to do some layering with paper as well. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these on, and then come back. All right, we're back. So I've got the front and back covered. Now I have some really beautiful light blue paper that was 12 by 12, and I've cut this down to 7 inches tall. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it to 5 inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And that is also going to go right there. That's going to look so pretty. And I also have, you guys, this beautiful doily that I'm going to use as well. But before we glue all of this down, I'm going to make a ribbon closure. I've got this beautiful ribbon. It's crepe ribbon. This ribbon is about a 1/2 inch, about 5/8 of an inch wide. So we're going to go ahead and go, I think, well, before we do that, I wanted to do my little notch here. I'm glad I remembered to do that. A lot of times I forget. So for making my little notch, I'm going to do a half circle. And yeah, I should have done this before I glued it. So you guys got me there. But better late than never. Fired right into my eyeball. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead. I'm so glad I remembered to do that. Put that there. We're going to fold this in half. It's probably going to be too long, but that is okay. I just love a ribbon closure. I think it just really adds to the presentation. All right. And I did get that a little bit long, so we're going to trim some of that off, but that's okay. We're going to use it on a tag or something. All right, then this is going to go right there, or I could, yeah, let's do that. Let's go right across the center. A little more brown ink. We're going to go right there, and then we're going to do a little inking on the doily as well. Excellent. Then I've got the other half, and we're going to take care of that after we do the doily. We're going to ink this, the edges on this a little bit, just to make that show up a little bit. I just kind of want to antique this a little bit. So just a little bit around the edges. Go. I think it's good. All right, now I've got to go ahead and do that other piece because I'll forget. All right, we're going to put this piece right there that has just got the most gorgeous butterfly on that. Oops, there's an extra little piece of paper from the perforation there. All right. Glue this down, and then before we do the doily, we're going to work on the pages on the inside because we are going to be doing a pamphlet stitch and we don't want that to go through the doily. Okay, so hold on, I'll be right back. All right, we are back and we have our folder opened. There are a couple of different things you can do for pages. You can take some copy paper that's 8.5 by 11. You can score it down the center, fold it in half with multiple pages, and then we can open that and pamphlet stitch that in. Or I have cut some coordinating patterned cardstock, just one sheet of that. You could do multiple. I'm just going to do one sheet, and I've cut that to 8.5 by 11 as well. And we're going to go ahead and pamphlet stitch this inside. So what you want to do is take your paper and make sure it's centered at the top and the bottom. And then I have my little bookbinding kit that I got on Amazon. I'll link this down below. It's like $7 to $8 and has everything you need to do this. It has an awl. That's an A-W-L, not O-W-L. And we're going to go ahead and do 3 punches, one here, here, and here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this. So you're doing this like about the center here, and then about an inch from the bottom, inch from the top. And then you're going to go ahead and take the awl and push that through. We're going to be going through the ribbon binding, that's okay. And here as well. And here. Okay. And then for the amount of waxed thread you want to use, if you don't have this, you could use embroidery floss. I've even used ribbon. So you just measure it like this. Twice the length, and then I always give like an extra inch just because I'm paranoid. All right, it also comes with some assortment of needles here, and I have already threaded my wax twine in. So we are going to start from the center of the book here. I'm going to go here, and we're going to go out this way. These little closures are going to be a problem. We're going to leave just a little bit of the twine or the thread right here. Then we're going to go through the top. Make sure it goes through both layers on those holes. But I really should have pinned, like, yeah. I'm gonna do it now. I have some paper clips here, and I was like, I'm only doing one sheet. I don't need to paper clip those. Yeah, you do. Come on, Lene. Don't be all cocky about it. Okay, there we go. That's more secure. All right, so now we're gonna go, we've got it threaded from the inside to the outside. It's going down the binding like that. Now we're going to go all the way down to the very bottom hole. I gotta find my other little hole. There it is. There. And now we're going to go through this one, through the center. All right, there we go. And when I do this, here we've got that center string there. I want to make sure that these tails are on either side of that. And then I just tie a knot around that. And then we're just going to trim those to just like 1/2 inch long. Get rid of those paper clips. All right, so now we've got a nice inside. See what I mean about it kind of being like a card, okay? That's kind of how I'm going with this. And now we can get back to our pretty little doily, okay? And that's going to cover up that pamphlet stitch. That's fine. If you don't want to cover that up, you could leave it. I don't think it's anything that you need to cover up. It's just working out that way. So I'm going to fold this in half. And then we're going to glue it like that. And don't worry that it's covering this up. We're going to put lots of pretties on the front of this, okay? So let's see. Let's go ahead and put some glue right in the center there. And then I'm just going to put some, there's sort of like little medallion things here. I'm just putting some glue on those. Kind of attach everything there. I'm going to turn that over. All right. I like how that's turning out so far. It's going to be really pretty. All right. So now I'm going to be kind of concerned about what I'm putting on my little cover here. So I've got some cutouts. And they all look so pretty. And I've got some little circle bits right here. The little things make life wonderful. I really like that. Sometimes I use like a circle die to cut these out so they're just like ready to go. Sometimes I could show you guys how I cut circles because they're a little trickier. So you'll notice I'm using small scissors and I'm actually turning the paper and not the blade. I'm moving the blade on the scissors, but I'm not turning this way. I'm turning the paper, and I really feel like that makes a big difference in getting a nice smooth cut. That and just going slowly. Don't rush that. Okay, the other thing you can do is when you're done with that, to kind of hide some mistakes, is just put a little ink on that edge. It'll be just fine. All right, so we've got little things make life wonderful. You can put little bits, things here and there. We've got some tags that I think are really sweet. So we've got one of these that we can actually fold in half. Boy, I've got glue all over my fingers. And then what we can do is just take this and put it here and here. And you can kind of find the top and the bottom of this and make a little tag out of that. That will be really sweet. I've also got these beautiful flowers from 49 and Market. These are Midnight, and they're royal posies, so they come in 3 different sizes, and they have leaves, and they're going to look really nice with this. And as I said before, I've got some lace here as well. I'm not sure, because I have the doily here, I'm not sure if I'm going to go ahead and use this here or on the inside. This is just kind of my process at this point, seeing what I have to work with. This one's kind of a little bit like a postage stamp. And then just putting a little ink on the edges of these just gives it a little bit more dimension. Really like that. And then we've got this long piece here, which would just make like an awesome bookmark, but I think it would also be awesome right there too for layering over these. I think I'm getting an idea here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put our lace here. And I like to just put my glue directly on the surface here. I like to let the lace hang off the edge a little bit so I have something to trim. And then I like to just let that dry for a few minutes before I cut it too close to the edge. We're just going to snip that right off like that. And while that's drying, this really long one. Now these, as I said, these are all cutouts from this collection. I really like just that buildup of layering those items. Okay. Now we've got the thinking of you. We've got this one with the little things. Thankful for you. Great times are even better when they're shared with great friends. You always brighten my day, and true friends are the greatest blessings. I'm thinking I really like this one. And I think we're going to use a little foam tape on that. If I can find my foam tape. Oh, there it is. I put it someplace convenient, which means it's across the room. I really like my giant wheel of foam tape because I use so much of it. It's just a little bit more economical that way. How do you guys buy your foam tape? Do you like the wheel as well? All right, we can put that right there, kind of overlapping those items, which I'm liking. And then we're going to take a couple of these little flowers. I like the dark kind of navy blue contrast here. Like that. And like that. And I think I want to put like a cutting die that I have, something die cut right here. So I'm going to be right back. All right, I found my cutting die. It's this one right here. I cut it from the coordinating green cutting cardstock. This is from Bigger Leaves and Ferns #2 cutting die set from Hot Off the Press. I'll link that down below, but I'm thinking like right there. I really like that little botanical touch, so we're going to put that on there. Before we do, I've learned my lesson finally after all these years. Do your trimming and everything you need to do before you glue your leaves and your flowers on. They will generally fall off on you. Got to trim a little bit more. There we go. So that's going to go right there. And we're going to put these little guys right here. And then as soon as I get these down, you guys, I'm going to take a little break and work on what's going to go on the inside of this little book, journal, or card, and then we'll come back and take our final flip through. There we go. While I'm finishing this up, I should remind you guys, if you like, comment, and subscribe to this video, you will be entered into a chance to win this little altered file folder for your very own, or to share with a friend. So make sure and listen to the details at the end of the video. I'll be right back. All right, we're back for our final flip through. As you can see, the cover is still here, still unchanged from how we finished it. I did add a tag in the front pocket, double-sided, used the wide eyelets from We Are Memory Keepers, which I really love. Love that sort of robin's egg blue. They come in like 4 colors, which is really nice. I tend to use a lot of blue, so I liked that. All right, now we're going to open the book, and then on the inside I use the tag in a bag cutting die from Hot Off the Press. I've used this multiple times in other videos. If you're interested in the construction of that, I'll link a video at the end so you can see how this is put together. It's really simple. I went ahead and constructed the bag and then taped that with extra sticky tape to the inside cover here, and then just glued this cutout across it. It's great for personalizing. And it's got this little tag on the inside. On this page, we put together this little round circle tag with a little folded over cutout, just a little sprig of one of the top of those botanical dies. On this page, I put embellishments on opposite corners. These are just 1-inch strips of paper that I've inked and cut little notches or dovetails in there. These are ready to go for personalization. And you guys, this is just a really nice place to add photos to your book, personal notes. As I said, if you're doing this as a gift, or if it's kind of like an expanded card, which is always nice. Same place here for photos. And then when we go to the back, I didn't put embellishment here since this is technically the back of the book, but you could put something right here. And there is a larger tag here, which is also double-sided. Also another great place to add photos. You know, never worry about covering up, you know, a printed floral scene with a beautiful family photo. So you guys, I wanted to remind you that I love giving away my projects, and all you have to do to enter to win is to like, comment, and subscribe to this video, and then you have to watch next week's video, and somewhere in that video is the name of the person who has won this prize, and then you have to email me. So all the instructions are there, US residents only. I am spending my own pocket money to mail these out, so I really appreciate that. So thank you so much for joining me today for this altered file folder. I had a lot of fun making it with you, and I'll see you next time.